Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to welcome you to the gala of awarding the Silesius Wrocław Poetry Award and the Angelus Central European Literature Award. Today's gala will be hosted jointly by Irek Green, director of the Wrocław House of Literature, and Katarzyna Janusik, deputy director of the Wrocław House of Literature. Kasia is not Kasia, as I said, because I am Irek, but she wanted to be called Kasia. Yes, precisely. For the fifth time, Silesius will be awarded together with Angelus during a joint gala of both awards. We are celebrating this mini jubilee of 5 years. In the year is celebrated that the City Council of Wrocław has adopted as a year of the Angel of Silesia, which is Angelus Silesius. And so for the combination of the two galas, once forced by the pandemic, seems to be particularly justified. I would also like to add that today's event is broadcasted online. So we are welcoming you in front of the screens from the Karol Lipiński Academy of Music in Wrocław. On behalf of the host of our ceremony, the Mayor of Wrocław, Jacek Sutryk, who is represented today by the Deputy Mayor of the city, Madam Renata Granowska. Good evening, Madam. You may, you don't have to, as you wish, you can applaud. In a special way, we would like to welcome the artists without whose today's work gala would not exist. Writers, translators nominated for the Silesius and Angelus Awards, as well as the publishers and jurors of both awards. We also welcome representatives of foreign, diplomatic and cultural missions representing the countries from which the nominated authors come from. A year ago, from this stage, we were speaking about a special situation in which we were awarding our awards. The war in Ukraine was ongoing, it's still ongoing. Unfortunately, the war in Gaza has begun and it's still ongoing. We have the impression that this uncertain, unpredictable, terrible international situation is getting worse year by year. However, we still believe, or perhaps even more so, that the celebration of freedom of artistic expression, the celebration of literature, should be particularly celebrated. In this group, we do not need to remind how much the world owes to literature, its social and political diagnosis. Although we still dream of a time when politicians will be interested in art, not art in politics. Before we present this year's nominations, I would like to invite the Deputy Mayor of Wrocław, Renata Granowska, to the stage. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's true, the biggest applause is directed to the creators, the artists, and I hope all of those who are nominated and awarded will be applauded in the same way. Greetings from the Mayor of Wrocław, Mr. Sutryk, who is unable to be here today. I'm very happy I can represent him on this occasion. Today is a very special day for Wrocław and for literature. We have the honor of grant 2 literature awards. Present Angelus, European Award, and Silesius from Wrocław, as mentioned before. Angelus Silesius wrote, "You have to know that although everything around is just passing by, love is forever." This quote perfectly shows the meaning of our event today, because literature, although the form and forms of expression of literature change, it still becomes the solid tool of communication between generations, between cultures. It's over time and it's obvious for us. Today, for the 19th time, we are awarding the Angelus Award, since 2006, has been supporting and promoting the most important pieces of literature of Central Europe. This is an award that honors books that speak about key topics for the humanity and that make you think. This celebration is one of the most important ones on the map of culture of Wrocław and is inscribed in the agenda of Wrocław. Publishers from 23 countries and a wide perspective of artism reinforces the connections in art above boundaries, and everything is happening in Wrocław, the center of culture and literature. The nomination to today's Angelus and Silesius show how diverse and universal literature can be. Monika Helfer in Hałastra speaks about the story of her family in the background of a huge war, and Andrzej Kurkow in Grey Bees describes the story of a man who tries to survive in Donbas. Małgorzata Łakoma speaks about the topics of passing, grief and death. Tomasz Różewicz in The Thieves of Lightbulbs combines surrealism with the reality of living in the communist Poland. Olga Cerewra speaks about the necessity of being close. However, Tatiana Cebulek in The Glass Garden moves us to Moldova in the end of the Soviet era. Benedek Todt writes a psycho-thriller about young people who fill their lives with violence, sex and drugs. It shows us different aspects and colors of current world. It's literature that asks questions and, first of all, provokes. The winner, as every year, is going to receive the statue of Angelus, designed by a special designer, and will be granted 250,000 zlotys. But today's evening is not only Angelus. For the 17th time, it's going to be Silesius that's going to be awarded here in Wrocław, that honors the creators of the Polish poetry. In the category of debut, we have 3 particular nominations. And I'm going to leave that for you to introduce. We are about to go. You can continue. You've done all the work for us. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to you, although I wanted to speak a bit more about that. So yes, I'll do. Angelus Silesius, which is our angel of Silesia, was writing, "I am becoming what I am, because deep inside I am everything." Can you define better who poets are? We're looking forward to the decision of the jury. I am wishing you an amazing evening. If I said something wrong, because I heard from the back, I'm really sorry, because maybe I was quite stressed about my speech. Have a nice evening. Thank you so much. It's all okay, Madam Mayor. The scene of literature is the scene of huge stress. That's usually what happens in Moldova. And the only thing you did, you changed the name of the president of Moldova. Ladies and gentlemen, as first we are going to be presenting the awards for Silesius. As Madam Mayor said, the Silesius Wrocław Poetry Award will be presented for the 17th time this year. We have more than 40 winners, like Urszula Kozioł, this year's Nike winner, Tadeusz Różewicz, Krystyna Miłobędzka, and Ryszard Krynicki. The symbol of the award is a statuette by Michał Staszczak. Silesius will be awarded in 3 categories. Debut of the Year, Book of the Year, and the Lifetime Achievement in Creative Work. Let us introduce the jury, composed of Piotr Śliwiński, Chairman, Monika Glosowicz, Paweł Mackiewicz, Małgorzata Mikołajczak, Krystyna Pietrych, Paweł Pruchniak, Alina Świeściak. Now you can applaud. Let's see the books that have been nominated in the Debut of the Year category. So we have 3 books nominated in the debut category Opal Ćwikła, Ufoporna. The publisher of the book is the Old Town Cultural Center. Martyna Pankiewicz, What the Earth Eats and Worries. Papier w Dole Publishing House. Urszula Sikora, the 13th month. The publishing house of the Provincial Public Library and Culture Animation Center in Poznań. This is such a renowned publishing house. You can actually shorten the name, because for us it's quite problematic. It's very long and we all know what it is. And for the host of the gala, it's usually quite problematic to read so many words of your name. In a moment, we will find out which of the debutants will receive the prize in the form of Silesius statuette and 15,000 zlotys. I would like to add that all nominees receive a distinction in the amount of 5,000 zlotys. We invite the Deputy Mayor of Wrocław, Renata Granowska, and the Chairman of the Silesius jury, Professor Piotr Śliwiński, to the stage. Can I check now what we have in our script? Now it's time for you to announce who is the winner. Yes, please. Dear Madam Mayor, dear ladies and gentlemen, and of course my lowest bow goes to the writers and translators and publishers. As a comment, we are often asked what criteria, principles we use to choose the poetry, to nominate it and then to present the award. First of all, I have to say that we cannot put any framework on these criteria. We cannot put it in any kind of shelf. We understand that there have been years and years and that we have been reading good poems and that we have the goodwill to do our best, and we are very interested in the new votes and the expectation that our expectations and criteria have to follow the literature about which we always know too little. I'm saying this because before I announce the verdict of the book of the year, the debut book of the year, I would like to explain once again that making a decision, because 3 of these books are amazing, very different, and choosing out of 3, one that is going to move us because of the dramatic scenes, and the second one that moves us to the world of passing by, death, and the angel of Silesia, and the third one that speaks of violence in a different way than others. It's very difficult to choose from the 3 of them. One of the journalists asked me, how do I cope when I look in the faces of the people who didn't get the awards, but they really should have received the award, well, I do my best and I can handle this because all the spotlights are in my face and I cannot see the faces of the people who didn't get the award. So now we are awarding this award to the book that forces special things, that is releasing the language from the binds of theory. This language is running like waves and cannot be portrayed. It's very difficult to agree with the language, and you sometimes are powerless, and still you want to fight with it. It comes from irony and verse. It cherishes the old style tradition. As for a woman, she wants to die, as we read. However, I would like to calm you down that there's more life in this book than the thoughts about dying. It's very difficult to find a more vibrant example of this amazing language. Opal Ćwikła for UFO Porno gets the award. Congratulations, and please join us on the stage. I have to admit that I was not expecting that, and I'm not being too humble. I'm really serious. I didn't know. When I was told I was nominated, I cried and I couldn't believe. Now I'm so nervous. I'm almost about to cry. However, I will not do. I would like to thank all the people who appreciated this book. I'm not going to list everybody because I'm afraid I would forget about someone, and then I would feel really bad. So if you feel that in any way you have contributed to my book, thank you so much. I was not expecting this to happen so fast, and it will be appreciated so much that I would get so much love, wonderfulness, and all the good things related to my book. So I am really deeply moved that this project has been nominated. I feel that I was part of the project, and I'm so happy for this reason. I am very grateful that UFO Porno was accepted with all this arsenal of glitter, of drugs, of the universe-related topics, with all of that it brings together. Actually, I didn't prepare any speech beforehand because actually I really was not expecting that. Thank you so much to my publishing house, of course, and thank you to all my dear and close people who at any stage of this project supported me. Thank you so much, and I'm happy I could do something that contributed in a way to many queer young, not only young people. Thank you, just thank you, because love that I got for this book was enormous. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. The next category in 2024, which is as usual, the Book of the Year. The jury selected 5 finalists. Also in this category, all nominees will receive 5,000 zlotys each, while the statuette and the prize of 50,000 zlotys will go to the author of one of the nominated books. Here they are. So we have 5 fantastic books in the finals. Justyna Bargielska, a selection of stand-ups, Biuro Literackie Publishing House, Kacper Barczak, Time Compost. Biuro Literackie. Dominik Bielicki, The Great Ping Pong, J Publishing House. Darek Foks, Patriot Publishing House of the Provincial Public Library and Culture of Animation Center in Poznań. Justyna Kulikowska, Play Camp. Publishing House of the Provincial Public Library and Culture Animation Center in Poznań. You know what I meant when I said about this name of the publishing house from Poznań. Let's hear then who was the winner of the Book of the Year category. I'm really sorry, but I'm inviting again Professor Piotr Śliwiński, chairman of the jury, and the deputy mayor of Wrocław, Renata Granowska, to the stage again. Maybe this time, Madam Mayor. Maybe not. Okay. Because to select out of 5 books, even more diverse, it was even more difficult. Only these lights allow me to survive this moment that is at the same time very happy and very difficult. And I thought even more that the conditions now do not allow me to have a bigger presentation of the text that fulfill the books of our authors. I thought, how about I read every poem from every single book and then I invite them to the stage and I spoil the party, but I will not do that. The award in the Book of the Year goes to Dominik Bielicki. I don't know Mr. Dominik Bielicki, but I believe I lose a lot. The Great Ping Pong seems to be a book that seems to be one that we know and do not know, because every single person had the childhood, and some of us had the childhood in the time of the communist Poland. Every single person speaks about the childhood in a very different way. Sometimes people come back to that, and some people come back to that as to something really lost. And then the writer says that life goes behind the doors to the Great Ping Pong without our impact on the flowing time and the principles. So he speaks more about the images than events. He seems to be not very engaging, but very distant and cool. In these poems, there's everything that makes them worth reading. And then it turns out that the poetry that apparently doesn't want and doesn't promise too much except for the poems that we like without any force to put into reading them. And what's most important in terms of reading, we have to go and look below the duvet, in the décolleté, in those places. Everybody who comes and jumps out of the drawers, you have to believe them silently, as even you were not giving away your secrets to them. The laureate of the Silesius is Dominik Bielicki. The Great Ping Pong, J Publishing House. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this is a very awkward feeling when these poems that you write, all the weird things that are enclosed at home, you then put them on paper, you write these poems that there are people who like them, the readers like them. And even people who are qualified in literature, who can make a Röntgen scanning and see their value of those poems, like also the technical value of the poems, which is also very important. So I am deeply shocked and surprised by this fact. And from this place, I would like to thank to my publisher, Jacek Pierut, Rafał Dwawrzyńczyk, and my family. 3 girls, my wife and my 2 daughters, Magda, Hania, and Julia, who have been coping with me sitting in front of a computer at nights, and it's a bit weird at the same time. And thank you so much, the members of the distinguished jury. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. In terms of Silesius, there's still the most important distinction that we're enjoying since May, since we knew that. So Silesius 2024 for Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, before we invite the laureate to the stage, we are going to ask Piotr Śliwiński to justify the verdict. Marzanna Bogumiła Kielar is one of a kind. This is one of the kind laureate of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Refugees, those who escape, those who flee, if not them, their children, grandchildren live among us with this memory and with the feeling that the world is very fragile, very different, very distant, and there's nothing you can lean on. And some things should be burned. We can say, yes, the people from Belarus, from Ukraine, from all those different countries. Marzanna Bogumiła Kielan in The Wolves book writes about them, about all the different people from different areas of Poland and Germany and other parts of the world. She's like the reporter. There's different characters, mainly women, speaking about what they left the house, and they lost something small, like a wardrobe, but they also lost something big, like their dreams and hope. And they lose everything that they can trust. But Kielar is not jumping into making her poetry universal, because this is to be the voice of the very concrete memory that was violated by history. It makes a whole to bring you in the midst of the night. However, Wolves, this is the last strong accent in the biography of the author that started in 1992 together with the book that she wrote, Sacra Conversazione. Then there were several different books that were opening the door to the world of the meanings that were not obvious, encrypted in the images that blur in the foggy air. But this is the necessity. The poems of Marzanna Bogumiła Kielar oppose to the topics of the day, the fads, and they define the level delicately, uplifting us with their poems. We would like to invite Marzanna Bogumiła Kielar to the stage. The laureate is receiving 100,000 zlotys and the statuette by Michał Staszczak. Please take the floor. Yes. Professor Śliwiński was right. The light cuts me from you, people sitting in the public Thank you so much for this amazing award. Thank you to the members of the jury of Silesius Award for this amazing distinction. I am moved and I am being humbled at the same time. I have in my memory the first laureate, Tadeusz Różewicz, who got this award, and all the later poets, especially female poets. I am the fifth woman who received this award. So thank you so much, and I appreciate especially the women. Thank you to Professor Piotr Śliwiński for a beautiful speech. I would like to congratulate to all the laureates and nominated authors. It's amazing to be among you in this group of people. I would like to thank my publishers, Jerzy Ilk, and first of all my first publisher, Zbyszek Fałtynowicz, whom I brought a volume to a provincial publishing house in Suwałki, the first one, and I'll be forever grateful because he sent me back and he told me work more and come back. Come back in at least 6 months. I think if he didn't send me back, I would never be here in front of you. Zbyszek, I am very grateful for this. I will forever be grateful for what you did. I would like to thank very much the male and female translators into foreign languages. Thank you to all the critics who accompanied me in my artistic way since the very beginning, and on many occasions I was learning from their descriptions very special things about my poetry. I would like to thank the readers as well. Today I spoke with a professor of a university, a lecturer, and she said that the students in the final survey were requesting that in the program of that topic there was more poetry. So I am submitting that for consideration to the Ministry of Education. As you know, the Ministry of Education is doing everything they can so that the students read as little as possible and in fragments. Thank you also to my family that is watching online this gala. I know that. I would like to thank my parents. Especially, I never thank them, but from this place I would like to thank them for doing what they did for children, that to me and to three my siblings, they created wonderful conditions and a wonderful home. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. These are all the awards in this year's Silesius Award. As we have already mentioned, 2024 is the year of the Angel of Silesia in Wrocław, or Angelus Silesius, the patron of both awards presented today. One of the elements of the celebration is the organization of the first edition of the Ossolineum Award for Poetic Translation, which aims to promote literary translations of foreign poetry into Polish. We are glad that in addition to the Angelus for Translation, which has been awarded since 2010, a new initiative honoring authors of translation has appeared in Wrocław, and that the announcement of the winner of this award will be taking place today during our gala. However, before this happens, we will invite Mr. Łukasz Kamiński, director of the Ossoliński National Institute, to the stage, who will say a few words more about that. Dear ladies and gentlemen, Anios the Angel of Silesia, Scheffler, is very close to Ossolineum because he worked and lived in this place where we have worked for 80 years in Wrocław at Szewska Street. He is also very close to us because of the impact that he had on the Romantic poetry of Polish poets of the era of Romanticism, and on Adam Mickiewicz, who was his first translator into Polish. And because of those reasons, we are particularly happy that in the year of Angel of Silesia, we could found the award for the best literary translation. Thank you very much. The Ossolineum Award for poetic translation. We're sharing this nervousness because there's so many awards. Before I present the nomination, I would like to speak who are the members of the jury. Łukasz Kamiński, chairman, Marcin Gaczkowski, Dobromiła Jankowska, Stefan Kiedroń, Tomasz Ososiński, Katarzyna Uczkiewicz, and Justyna Ziarkowska. Of the 18 books that were submitted, published between the 1st of January 2023 and the 1st of May 2024, the jury nominated the following titles. Kim Hezun, Autobiography of Death, translation Ewa Sao, Lynn Sao, Katarzyna Szuster-Tardy, Biuro Literackie. Filip Żakote, The Last Book of Madrigals, translation Jan Maria Kłoczowski, National Publishing Institute. Natalie Diaz, Postcolonial Love Poem, translation Joanna Mąkowska, Coexistence Publishing House. We would like to ask the chairman of the jury to announce the verdict. Ladies and gentlemen, during the seating of the 18th of October 2024, the jury of the award decided that the laureate is going to be Jan Maria Kłoczowski and PIF Publishing House. Jan Maria Kłoczowski has translated The Last Book of Madrigals by Filip Żakote. The winner is going to receive 10,000 zlotys and a statuette by Agnieszka Leśniak-Banaszak. The statuette will also be awarded to the publisher. The justification was that the translator found very specific equivalent of the French language. In a convincing way, he commented late text of Żakotet. He found in the Polish language what made them appear in their best version in the Polish language. I am so deeply surprised that I'm only going to say, you see, you still see, on the cover of this book, you see a painting of a living widow of Żakotet. And my thoughts ran directly to the south of France, where in the house that since 1953 Philippe Żakotet, fleeing from Paris, from the capital buzzing with ideas and debates, he left the capital with his wife, artist. I'm sending my thoughts to Grignon. I would like to thank so much, and I'm very grateful to the members of the jury. I think the most important thing is poetry, and let's be together. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we move on to presenting the most important award for prose books published in Polish by writers from Central Europe. In a moment, we will know the winners of the 19th edition of the Angelus Central European Literature Award. Out of 120 books qualified for the competition, 7 made it to the finals, and regardless of the final verdict, which we will know soon, we would like to congratulate to all nominees. As in the case of Silesius, all nominees will receive distinctions of 5,000 zlotys each. For the Angelus Central European Literature Award, publishers can submit books by living authors from 23 Central European countries: Albania, Austria, Belarus, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Estonia, Kosovo, Lithuania, Latvia, Macedonia, Moldova, Montenegro, Germany, Poland, Russia, Romania, Serbia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Ukraine, and Hungary. The winner of this year's award will be the author of a book published in the Polish language last year. The award is symbolized by a statuette by Ewa Rossano, and its amount is 150,000 zlotys. If the winner is a foreign writer, the translator of the awarded book will also receive a prize of 40,000 zlotys. If the winner is a Polish writer, the jury, in accordance with the regulations, will select the best translation from among the nominated foreign books. Let us now introduce the Angelus Award jury. The chairman of the jury is Martin Pollack, an Austrian writer, winner of the Angelus in 2007. Unfortunately, for health reasons, Martin Pollack is not with us today. We hope he's watching the broadcast. Best regards. The jury also includes Wojciech Browarny, Kinga Dunin, Michał Nogaś, Mykola Ryabczuk, Justyna Sobolewska, Andrzej Zawada. Let's see at the nominations. For the record, let's present the list of finalists. Once again, everyone is with us today except for Andrzej Kurkow and his interpreter Monika Helfer, Hałastra, translation Arkadiusz Żychliński, Filtry, Publishing House, Andrzej Kurkow, Grey Beast, translation Magdalena Hornung, Noir Sublong, Literary Publishing House, Małgorzata Lebda, Łakome, Znak Social Publishing House, Tomasz Różycki, Bulb Thieves, Wydawnictwo Czarne, Oleg Serebrian, Against the Current, translated by Radosława Janowska-Laskar, Amaltea Publishing House. You know that Oleg Serebrian is a fine author, but also the Deputy Minister of Moldova, and I had this joke if Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz would write a book, what about it would be. Tatiana Tibulet, The Glass Garden, translation Kazimierz Jurczak, Klimaty, oficjalna literacka Noir Sublong, Benedict Todd, Dead Man's Runs, translation Elżbieta Sobolewska, Biuro Literackie. We will find out in a moment who will receive the Angelus statuette. First, however, we will present a unique distinction, which is the Readers' Award. The Angelus jury established in the Readers' Award of Natalia Gorbaniewska in 2014 to commemorate the first president of the jury. The award is given by readers in an online vote. Natalia Gorbaniewska was a Russian poet, journalist, translator of Polish literature, member of the human rights movement. She was one of the 8 participants of the demonstration on the Red Square on August 25 in 1968 against the entry of Warsaw Pact troops into Czechoslovakia. She was arrested, held in an investigative prison and a compulsory psychiatric prison. In 2006, she became a Polish citizen and she died in 2013. The Readers' Award is a 3-month writing scholarship in Wrocław. It's the readers who decide and invite their favorite authors to Wrocław. So this is how it looks like. The winner will also receive a statuette by Professor Przemysław Tyszkiewicz. We invite the Deputy Mayor of Wrocław, Renata Granowska, and Mr. Mykoła Ryabczyk to the stage. Mykoła, can we please ask you for the verdict? You can speak to both of the mics. Each of them is for you. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to make any more sensation if I say that the writers write for readers. Well, particularly the majority of them, they write for the readers, and those who we have among those 7, they write for the readers. And this award is very important because in some sense it questions the monopoly of the jury members. We diligently follow this voting with some kind of jealousy. We are very happy that if the voting confirms our selection, but we're also very happy if this is questioned and it doesn't confirm our voting, because that gives more passion to the dialogue, to this exchange, and it shows that those pieces of art can be read and understood in a different way. This year's award, after the name of Natalia Gorbaniewska, who was a very special person, and we keep understanding her more and more in the historic sense, but also in the personal sense. It's awarded by the votes of readers, and this book is about a young girl who lived through a series of transformations, and at the same time there were political transformations, because everything is happening between communist and post-communist era. It's linguistic transformation in the daily life and a transformation of her identity in her private life. The book is very in-depth, very moving, so it's not surprise that this book was so well received by the readers. It's a book written to my ear. She comes from Moldova, Tatiana Cebulak, which sounds very nice to my Ukrainian ear. We would like to invite Madam Tatiana Cebulak. The book Glass Garden was published by Książkowe Klimaty and Oficyna Literacka Anwar Sublong. Congratulations, and we would like to invite Mr. Kazimierz Jurczak, the translator of the book.
This is very new to me. Before becoming a writer, I used to work as a journalist in Moldova. And in those times, the biggest prize for our writing was that no one sued us. It seems to me that literature is more generous and forgiving. I wrote this book, The Glass Garden, without literary ambition in my mind. I wrote it, first of all, for my father and for his friends, who luckily died before seeing their biggest fear coming true, a new war for old reasons. I wrote it as well for my kids, who are increasingly confused about their mother's tales, where everything changes and transforms very fast, countries, languages, people, destinies. And selfishly, I wrote it for myself and for my generation. And for one very good reason, I would say, not to forget. Because in Eastern Europe, we have a short memory, and we decide or choose to forget lots of things from our past, and that's why we are repeating the same mistakes again and again. Lots of people to thank, but I'm very happy to think about this prize as well as Kazimier's prize, my wonderful translator, whose dedication, deep kindness, attention for detail and culture was for me a prize in itself. Knowing him, it's a big, big happiness for me, and an example of his generosity and Polish generosity, because I have lots of readers here, which I'm very grateful for. And I'd like to thank as well my editors, these half crazy, half beautiful people who decided to publish literature books from, you know, unknown authors. And they did well, I think, because like that we can meet and learn from each other. Thank you very much for everyone, and especially to my readers who took my book into their houses and to their hearts. Thank you very much.
Dziękujemy bardzo.
Thank you very much. That was the first Angelus distinction this year, the award named after Natalia Gorbaniewska. And now let's move on to the presentation of Angelus 2024. I would like to invite to the stage Artur Nogaś to the stage. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The jury of the award The jury of the award met this year in a reduced number for reasons beyond its control. Hence, from Wrocław, we send our warmest greetings and best wishes for a return to health to the charismatic chairman of our jury, Martin Pollack. The choice, as usual, was very difficult. What was extraordinary was the spatial, thematic, time and linguistic breadth of the books nominated for Angelus. From the Alps to the Crimea, from Odessa to Göttingen, from a tower block in communist Poland to a village at the end of the world, from intimate family stories to the epic of wars and times of political transformation, from the early 20th century to the present day, from forgotten dialects to youth slang and scientific vocabulary, from great languages spoken by millions to minority languages. We awarded an outstanding book, intimate, family-oriented, universal. We appreciated a story told from the perspective of women. It is the stuff of uncomfortable people who, although living on the margins of the local community, commanded respect. It's a book, a testimony of dissent against violence, exclusion, contempt. In fact, this prose spares no one. Its author said in an interview, "The family plunged into darkness and chose not to remember what happened, to understand this mechanism, but also to try to find my place in the herd. I started asking questions, digging. I realized that everyone knew a different version or believed a different version of the events. So when writing the book, I decided to also rely on my own feelings and trust my imagination. It is fiction that we trust like a document, yet loses nothing of the beauty of artistic prose. The Angelus Central European Literature Prize was awarded this year to the Austrian writer Monika Helfer for her novel Hałastra, translated by Arkadiusz Żychliński. Arkadiusz Żychliński, whom we are awarding for his translation from German language, excellently rendered the rhythm and melody of Monika Heller's penetrating prose in Polish. We hope to see more of the Moosbrugger family story in his translation. Central Europe deserves this trilogy. We would like to invite on stage Madam Monika Helfer and Arkadiusz Żychliński, the translator.
How glad I am to receive this wonderful prize, and I say to you, I will write till I die. Und ich sage jetzt einfach ein paar Worte auf Deutsch, weil ich ja aus Österreich komme.
I'm going to say a little bit in German.
Dass in diesem wunderbaren Land mein Buch übersetzt worden ist. Das ist eine große Freude und ich weiß ja, dass hier viel gelesen wird, mehr als bei uns wahrscheinlich. Und die Vorstellung, dass jetzt viele Leute mein Buch lesen, macht mich total glücklich.
I am very happy that my book was published in Polish. On many occasions, I heard that this is a country that has passionate readers. That would be more general, more or less the translation, as that German translation says. I am speechless. Thank you very much. We would kindly ask you to stay on stage. Now we are going to have a very important distinction. So now it's going to be the award for the translation. As I said, if Angelus Award if the award is given to the foreign translator, the translators of that book get 40,000 zlotys and the statute by Przemysław Tyszkiewicz. We heard some beautiful words about your translation, so I would like to ask Madam Deputy Mayor to hand in the statuette. Please, the stage is yours. You can speak German. I think in Polish will be much better. Thank you very much. I will not be very original. I think what I'm going to say in this word sentence I would like to express. I would like to thank the author for having the opportunity of translating the book for a moment. I had the feeling and impression that I become the part of this group, of this hawastra, that is much bigger than just the people in the book, and that this group is much bigger than the group of people that co-created the book, and it also covers all the readers who this and that way find in that prose something for themselves. So first of all, thank you so much to the author, and thank you so much to all the people who contributed to publishing this book, to Filtry Publishing House, and to all the readers who found something for themselves, and for the members of the jury who appreciated this book. Thank you very much. Dear ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to see, in terms of 2 awards, we would like to welcome all the nominated authors, translators. Please kindly join us on the stage, and to keep the order, I would like to invite to the stage all the people nominated to Angelus, writers, translators. You will all receive commemorative pens funded by Pióra Polskie. So all the Angelus Central European Literature Award nominees and translators, writers and translators. Please come join us. Can you maybe stand in the center of the stage? I don't see the laureate of the award, of the Angelus Central European Literature Award. Can we ask Madam Monika Helfer to come and join us on the stage? Can you please stay with us? The group will be getting bigger. Now we would like to ask the people who were nominated to the Wrocław Silesius Award. You will also receive the pens, and please come join us on stage.
Można się dowolnie ustawiać.
Now we would like to invite the translators and publishers nominated for the Ossolineum Award for Poetic Translation. You will also receive commemorative awards from Ossolineum. Now we would like to invite you to take a photo together. It's also a moment for journalists. For the photo purposes, can you please come a little bit closer to take better pictures? We kindly ask you to come closer. I've never managed so many authors and writers at the same time, and I was even successful. Thank you so much. Can we see Marzanna Bogumiła-Kielan? We don't think we see her. Please don't take pictures now. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just finished this year's unique gala organized in the year of Angelus Silesius. I would like to thank the juries of both awards in particular, because this year marks the end of the term of office of these outstanding researchers and literary critics. Thank you very much for the last 3 years. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't thank my co-workers from the Wrocław Literature House and Schulz Academy, because we have composed those several dozen events. We spoke about literature on many occasions and in various ways. Thank you so much. Before we say goodbye to you, we would like to invite you to a meeting with the Angelus laureate Monika Helfer and Arkadiusz Rzechliński at 11:30 in the Prosa Club of the Wrocław House of Literature. On the other hand, Opal Ćwikła. We will see them in Prosa at 1. The meetings will also be available online on the fan pages of the awards, the Wrocław House of Literature, and the ongoing Bruno Schulz Festival, a festival within which meetings are held. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for participating in the gala of the Silesius Wrocław Poetry Award and the Angelus 2024 Central European Literature Award. The music was illustrated by Franciszek Pospieszalski and Maria Ewa. Visualizations were prepared by Maciek Dudzik. The Polish sign language was translated by Agata Mazieńczuk, and the English translation was provided by Joanna Kłębicka. The event was organized by the Wrocław House of Literature.